Bonjour, I'm Felicia Londré, back for a third session of 5-Minute Moliere. Since it's the third session, it's time to talk about the women in Moliere's life. I hope I can do this in 5 minutes. Moliere loved women in real life, and he gave them great roles in his plays. When he shows young women who take initiative or rebel against social norms or even rebel against an arranged marriage, he was probably inspired by one of the two women in his life. And the first was the lovely Madeleine Béjart. She was a gorgeous red-headed actress, 4 years older than Moliere. Her father had tried to marry her off when she was 15 to a man of 50, but she rebelled. She got legal status as a separate adult and became a businesswoman. And then she could even own property. She was very sharp. And so she became the leader of the theater company that Moliere joined. But before that, she was the mistress of the Count of Modena, Madeleine Béjart, mistress of the Count of Modena. And he actually acknowledged their first illegitimate child, Françoise, which is amazing for someone of his social rank. And most people think that the Count of Modena was also the father of Madeleine Béjart's daughter, Armande Béjart, who later married Moliere. Madeleine Béjart was the leader of the company that Moliere joined. Virginia Scott, who has looked into Madeleine's life and all of these other actresses of the period, asked why such a talented actress would spend 14 years touring the sticks with Moliere instead of using her talents in Paris and acting in tragedy, since Moliere's company did mostly comedies and her talent was tragedy. Well, yes, Madeleine Béjart and Moliere were lovers for a time. But there's a lot we don't know. We do know that she was a mainstay of his career. This witty book that has a lot of speculation about Moliere's personal love life. It's a delightful book. Well, back in Paris, after 14 years on the road, as soon as Moliere got his big break, and we'll talk about that in another session, he married Armande Béjart, Madeleine's daughter. Moliere was 40, Armande was 20. And people were jealous of Moliere, and so they circulated rumors, mockeries of Moliere for marrying such a young wife. But he retaliated by writing a play, School for Wives, about an old man, which he played himself, marrying a young wife. Armande didn't play the young wife. She just wasn't good enough then. She later did mature into a pretty good actress. Oh, I haven't showed you the photograph of Armande. Oh, okay, that'll come. Here it is. This is Armande Béjart, the lovely, coquette, delightful young woman. She really was a charming actress as she matured, but she did not lead Moliere the happiest of domestic lives, but he wrote great roles for her. He wrote Célimène in the Misanthrope and various others, and in roles that were inspired by her, like Agnès in School for Wives, even though she didn't play that part. Well, the relationship of Moliere and his friend, companion, business partner, Madeleine Béjart, and who was the mother of his future wife, Armande Béjart, has so much in it that we don't know, that it's inspired a lot of other novels and plays about them. Here's a novel about that relationship called Mademoiselle Molière, because that was the name that Armande Béjart acted under. Mademoiselle Molière, that was her stage name. And best of all, the same title is used for this play that I just love. It's a two-character play. The two characters are Molière and Madeleine Béjart. And then, of course, Armand is sort of an invisible figure, always there, hovering over their relationship in the background. It's a wonderful play, and I've asked permission to translate it. So thank you for joining us again. Au revoir.